What kind of person will you just never understand? The people who think it's acceptable to frick up public restrooms. I just don't get it. I remember in middle school, I'd go to use the bathroom and someone had wrapped the entire seat in toilet paper and then mad all over it. Or they would just piss on the entire roll. After I left middle school, I never saw anything like that again. Worked at a summer camp. The middle school week was the most disgusting to clean up after. Period blood smeared on the walls. Someone took a crap on the back of the toilet. Piss on the girls' bathroom floor. Middle schoolers are disgusting. People who share their very private drama on Facebook. Vague drama posts are the worst. I can't understand how you could be that ignorant. How can you be so stupid? So mad right now. Friend, what's going on? I don't want to talk about it. I was riding shotgun with my friend when a car came out of a building's parking lot and T-bones us. It was on his side, and his side of the door got whacked, and he got some bruising on his elbow, but nothing else serious. Now one thing to point is that we were in traffic, so we were literally at crawling pace. It was a single lane road, so it's not like the car that hit us didn't see us in front of them on the road. This is the best part. Me and my friend get out to check on the damage, and the lady driving the car gets out and tells us, "Why didn't you move? You shouldn't have been there," paraphrasing. My friend couldn't believe what she was saying. Yup, I got T-boned by a lady who ran a red light by swerving into the oncoming traffic lane because a car was stopped at the red light. I got out of my car and I hobbled over to make sure everyone was okay in hers, and she didn't even look up from the steering wheel. I'm pretty sure none of the kids were buckled in because they were all standing on their seats and crying. I just shut the door and waited for the trooper to get there. The lady who hit me told the trooper that I was the one who ran the red. Luckily for me, the lady who was stopped at the red that the lady who hit me had swerved around stayed as a witness because she didn't want me to end up getting screwed over. I later received a call from her insurance company asking for my info because she said I was at fault. I just gave them the number for my insurance company and said good luck. You are in no way obligated to give your insurance information to another driver's insurer if you weren't at fault. If you were in any way at fault, they would have got it from the police report. I was in the same situation last year and just screened their calls till they gave up trying to contact me after a couple weeks. The kind of people who abandon refrigerated/frozen product on the aisles of the grocery store instead of putting them back or giving them to an employee. Like, could you be more of an asshole when they take the frozen crap and hide it in regular merchandise, like clothes or something? Good job, you ruined two things. Why? This. Someone took ice cream and hid it inside a thing with stuffed animals. Ice cream melted and ruined all the stuffed animals. People who feel a need to write on/vandalize historic places or landmarks, or just any place in general. Nobody cares that you were here on May 5th, 2006. Additionally, people who fricking litter. I live right next to Yellowstone and have worked in the park. Nothing pisses me right off more than seeing trash all over the ground. How the frick do people feel okay just throwing their trash outside their trash and feel comfortable around trash? People who think they can bully retail/food service employees. I'm so over those rude fricks now. Maybe I'm jaded, but since I've been a manager of a fast food place, I just won't take crap off people that are obviously just trying to scam my younger employees by yelling as loud as they can in hopes it'll scare them into giving them free food. They're only 16. Stop yelling at them. The second someone yells or is generally a prick to my staff, I take over and either ban them from ordering or refuse their food replacement. Someone who's actually had a problem and received the wrong food, no problem. Someone who deliberately ordered something, then when it comes out tries to yell at my employees and call them stupid just to get a higher priced item for free. No chance, mate. Frick off. Good for you for standing up for your employees. I think lots of managers would try to appease these obnoxious bastards. My manager doesn't do that. Once I had a customer screaming and cursing at me for giving them the wrong cone for their ice cream, and my manager just stood to the side and watched. People who can't admit they're wrong, so they pin the blame on other people. Sounds like it's your fault we can't admit we're wrong. Let's agree to disagree. When walking in a crowd, don't stop abruptly to use your phone, go to the side and out of everyone's way. I understand them completely. They are totally oblivious people, unable to see outside their little world. I have a pet theory that certain people have failed to succeed at their dreams and therefore measure themselves simply by how much inconvenience they cause. I'm not sure it makes sense, but it allows me to hate them. People who brag they get other people to pay for their stuff or do their work and then get pissy when I won't do their work or pay for their stuff. You're not only proud about leeching off people, you think I'm so stupid I don't remember you telling me you leech off people. That's literally what Harold and Humor Go to White Castle was about. So I need to add this next to Office Space as a movie people tell me to see, but it will be too true to life for me to enjoy. People who say mean horrid things and then say they have no filter. You do have a filter, you're just as asshole. No offense to fellow Aspies, but I knew one who was like, I think Hitler was a wonderful human being. He just fulfilled his life dreams, that's what matters. And when called out on that idiotic thinking, he goes, it's because I have Asperger's. It's not my fault I don't see it your way. I know that's actually kind of true, but it is hard not to get really annoyed with that kind of personality. I have autism, and if you do something like this and then immediately excuse yourself with it, chances are you already knew you were saying something stupid. Drivers that don't use their blinkers. It's just a stick knob you flick up and down. It's like 3 inches away from your hands at all times and tells other drivers around you that you'd like to move your 3,000 6,000 plus lbs of fast moving metal, plastic, wires and rubber, would like to change lanes. It takes zero effort to use, and even a child can understand how easy it is to use. Use your blinkers, you inconsiderate douchebags. The no look no signal lane change is super popular in Arizona, especially among snowbirds. Also, 2 lanes turning right. Better be ready for the person on the outside lane to drift into yours. And if you're in their way, you're in a hole. People with "Don't Tread on Me" stickers are the worst offenders. As an resident, you are absolutely freaking correct. People who litter. I will never understand how you can just throw trash on the ground, especially in a park or out in nature. Or pick up dog crap with a baggie and then toss the bag. Makes zero sense to me. If you're not going to pick it up, just fling it off the path or something and let nature break it down. Live in Colorado. Happens a lot here. People are on a hike in the mountain, don't want to hold warm poop in a condom fin bag for the rest of the hike or hike back to the wastebasket. They put it down and retrieve it on the way out. Used to piss me off until I realized what they were doing. Customers that lash out employees over things the employees have no control over. So true. I worked at a zoo and we had those safari rides, and sometimes animals will get in the road and we won't be able to move. If that happens, the line gets backed up and customers will started yelling at us, asking why the vehicle isn't there. I'm sorry madam, it isn't exactly easy to move a 5,000 pounds rhino. People who believe everything they read online. Do some research and stop looking like a moron. Sadly, no amount of research will change the way I look. I have resting moron face. You're excused. The ones who are always late no matter what. I understand once or twice, but all the time. I just don't get never being able to get anywhere on time. As a reformed latist, here are some tips for sufferers. 1. When you plan something, make it an hour later than you expect to get there and work to your normal efficiency level. Genuinely works. I turned some of my clocks back. 2. Be honest in telling people how late you'll be. There's nothing worse than saying I'm almost there when really you're 20 minutes away and will disappoint. 3. If meeting up with your friends, start proposing times yourself. This puts more pressure on you to be there and you are less likely to think I'll get there when I get there. All of these I live by now, and I'm paraphrasing from a friend who just lost his crap at me one time. Genuinely didn't think it was such a problem. Since you are a latist, I'm an earliest, your distant cousin, I must ask you, what takes you so long? Do you misjudge how long it actually takes you to get ready? Or is it more that appointed times just aren't a big deal to you, and you assume they aren't a big deal to others either? People who don't realize how off-putting it is when they only talk about themselves. How can they not feel people's interest in the conversation waning? My dad is like this. I don't think he necessarily does it to feel superior or whatever. I think he just puts way too much thought into details on things. We were at a restaurant last night and he spent 5 whole minutes explaining why he raises sticks better than raises cups. Even though nobody really asked. He does this with everything. After 15 seconds of someone talking about themselves, people naturally stop listening or zone out. How can people not notice somebody doesn't care about the crunch of the wafer or the difference in chocolate texture? My god. We might have the same dad. I'll be like, so I'm going to the art museum later in the week. And he'll be like, art museum? In Philly? You should park in Chinatown. There's this noodle shop that was so good in 1974. I was there once. That was when I was working with Dave. You remember Dave? From that time you met him once as a toddler in 1989. Anyway, Dave was a great guy. I think he moved to Connecticut a few years ago. And so on, and so on. Honestly, he means well. He just rambles. People who eat other people's food at the workplace. Why do I have to put my name on my sandwich for you to know it's not yours? I take bites out of mine. Although I did have pizza stolen once with chewed pieces of crust in it, and a few bites out of the remaining pieces, while also being clearly marked as my lunch. Got the same lunch next day. Stolen. Said nope, frick you. Got it a third time. Hid Kiral in a creeper some random hot peppers under the cheese. Walked into people laughing their asses off at a guy who was known for taking lunches. He tried to accuse me of poisoning him in hours. It was fun. I ate a slice in front of them with peppers on it. I cried like a bitch. I like the creeper hot peppers, but damn, it's on the border of what I can tolerate. But loved every minute of him claiming I had done it just to get him. No, Carter, I did it because I like to eat peppers that feel like they came from the devil's asshole. He wrote him up for theft since it pretty much admitted to it by reporting me. Carter pretty much says it all right there. People who create problems for themselves, complain about them, and then blame someone else for their own mistakes. Like Jesus Christ, just accept your failures and move on. You wanted to swear in your last sentences, but it made you sound like a profound priest. I like that. I will never see the phrase like Jesus Christ the same way again, and I think my life will be better for it. I hate everyone who generalizes. There's only 2 things I hate in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures. And the Dutch. LPT. Don't make this joke at your first dinner with your Dutch boyfriend and his family. People who are ignorant to the point that they literally refuse to learn new topics or advance their knowledge. Holy frick, these people infuriate me. My sister loves to take pride in her ignorance and churlishness. Whenever someone calls her out on it, it makes me want to punch her. I'm the opposite to the point of frustration. Let's talk about Trump. I don't know much about him other than he's a businessman. Did you hear he wants to do this? I don't know the cost or context, so I can't comment. But, isn't that disgusting? Again, I don't have enough information to have an opinion. People who immediately stand up when a plane reaches a gate. Where do you think you're going so quickly, pal? People who finish school assignments days in advance. Blows my mind. I don't understand these people, but damn, am I envious of them. Yes, the dumbest thing is when others make fun of these people. It's obvious that they just like planning things ahead and don't have any stress, instead of me procrastinating all week and studying for everything in the last 2 days. Morning people. As a morning person, I think it's not that we enjoy getting up early, but we enjoy being up early. I just really like mornings and I want to sit and drink my coffee. As a night owl, I can see your point, just the other way round. I feel productive doing things, even browsing Reddit, when most people are asleep. People who need to constantly tell people that they are wrong. I'm all for some healthy discussion on certain topics, but at a certain point it just gets obnoxious. I work with this woman who always feels the need to tell people that they are doing something the wrong way, just because they are doing it differently than she usually does it. There's about 100 different ways to do certain tasks that will all lead to the same end result, but if you aren't doing it her way, it's wrong. I think she just needs to feel important and feel like she has power over her coworkers, even though she is no one's boss. People who don't put things back where they found them / where they belong, so when I need it, I have to ask them, where is the blank? Then they tell me where they left it. Thing, why don't you put it back? Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. So help me. The person who's been waiting in line with their groceries for freaking ages yet still has to frick around for 5 minutes sorting out their credit card or wallet when it's time to pay. Have that crap freaking ready. Old people writing checks. People who get pets and then are trying to find homes for them when they aren't little puppies / kitties, or when they don't fit their lifestyle anymore. The worst ones are the ones that get rid of their now grown puppy / kitty and go out and buy a new one. WTF. They are not cars. You don't trade them in when they are not cute. They're a lifetime commitment. I agree. It is weird because puppies and kittens are more work, and I feel like these type of people wouldn't want to deal with that. I know I wouldn't want to deal with a training phase every year or so. People who use religion as an excuse to hate others. In what holy book does God say, I love all people, except for those fricks over there? All of the Old Testament? No, pretty sure the Old Testament is just God saying I hate all people. Ones who put others down to elevate themselves. Especially those friends, and we all have them, who treat you differently when it's just you two than they do when others are around. I guess to make themselves feel bigger or better, but I can't stand it. Ex-best friend was like this, and I didn't realize it for nearly 3 years. Once I ended the friendship, I actually needed counseling because of how badly it had fricked me up. People like that are toxic. Now I'm extremely picky with friends. People who are physically okay but move slow for no reason. You get stuck behind them, and when you try and pass they just slightly move into the way again. Added bonus, people who just stand still at the end of an escalator. People who try to get on an elevator while people are trying to get off. People who stop dead at the top or bottom of stairs. I don't want to be a pain, but some people do have reasons to move slowly, even if you can't see it. I'm 24 and have psoriatic arthritis. My left knee is all fricked up. I'm not slow most of the time, but sometimes my joints are really sore. I don't look like someone who would have a reason. Granted, I move to edges and stuff and try not to block people, but I can't always go faster when my knee is just randomly giving out. The key is that you move to the edges. There are people that seemingly go out of their way to be in the middle. The same people that leave their cart in the middle of the aisle at a grocery store so you can't go around them. People who drive in the fast lane, slower than the rest of traffic. This might just be a British thing, but people who refer to the overtaking lane as the fast lane, it makes it sound like you can stay there as long as you go fast, when in reality you should treat it like the loo. You go in, do what you've got to do, and then get out. You've never been on the American highway system, I assume. People who are really freaking loud on the bus and playing music and crap. I'm all for you having fun, but don't do it at the inconvenience of other people. I'm writing this whilst on the bus in the exact situation. That guy that doesn't flush the public toilet, why? People who watch a movie and start saying what they would have done differently. Yeah, it's fun to speculate what you would do in that situation, but there are people who always go overboard about it. This is especially relevant in horror movies. It's like they have no understanding of how fear and adrenaline work. Well, the killer wouldn't have snuck up on me like that. I'll have you know, I'm always checking my surroundings. I would just dodge the axe, uppercut him in the jaw, kicked him in the groin, and taken out my gun and shot him several times in the head. This is my dad, so much. He also does this. Me, watching a movie with vampires. Dad, you know vampires aren't real, right? Don't trust him. He's trying to get you to lower your guard. Extremely picky eaters. Like, how can you eat the same thing day in and day out without getting bored? Additionally, how can you say you don't like something if you haven't tried it before? Been there, thankfully not anymore. For 21 years of my life I only ate pizza, bread items, and sweets. Also, only cheese pizza. Needless to say, I was a fat kid. It became such a psychological block for me. My family fed me things when I was little and constantly made a big deal / teased me about trying new things. So in my mind I built up this huge fear that I'll get teased if I don't like something, and I don't want to make a scene in public. What if I order it and don't like it? What if my friends ask me why I don't like it? What if I have to spit it out? What if I get weird looks for not liking it? No thanks, I'll just put my frozen pizza in the oven when I get home. So in my mind I built up it way worse than it actually was to just try something. Finally I had to ask my friends for help, and trying things in a no pressure environment. I still can't try new foods around my family, and every holiday my family is shocked to see me eat ham, turkey, potatoes, and other things I had never eaten before. Now I'm probably the least picky eater of my family. I also enjoy toppings on my pizza. I still have to mentally prep myself before trying new foods, but it's becoming a lot easier. Also, I would avoid eating situations. Hey, do you want to grab dinner? No thanks, got to go home and study. Hey, why don't you eat lunch at work? Had a big breakfast, I'll just wait till dinner. People who make fake social media accounts just to troll on everything. How do you have so much time? Why are you so full of hate? Why do you hide behind a keyboard? I've known someone like that. The thing you seem to be failing to understand is that people like that typically aren't coming from hate. It's all about watching people get worked up over something which is so plainly absurd. I simply can't understand the people who makes a drama about anything. Please calm down and do something about your problema. Don't be screaming around and telling everyone about how miserable your life is. People who think that because they make more money, they have a better understanding of life and the world than you, and that you should listen to them. Funny, the United States is about to test the crap out of that theory. People who lie through their teeth for money, scammers and their employees, most salesmen, etc. How do you look at people and see a wallet instead of a person? Your reality must be so small if you're the only human in it. Cultists and other blind followers. I can never wrap my head around them and sit of blindly following without a single question. Suicide bombers are similarly unknowable to me. You should do a little more research. The psychological mechanisms at work there are quite powerful, and they often ensnare smart, well-educated people. It's not just ignorant simpletons falling for an obvious charlatan. Arrogant people that have absolutely nothing to back up their ego. People who don't think of possible consequences. They just do whatever they want and hope it doesn't bite them in the ass. People who insist on constantly having the TV or music on. Silence is golden and good conversation is platinum. Tinnitus makes silence hell. Gotta have a fan running at least if I'm in otherwise total silence. Yeah, a lifetime of heavy metal concerts has made silence torture instead of beautiful. Wear earplugs, kids. People who are mean for the sake of being mean. Is your life so small you need to hurt someone to feel better? People that make crappy comments because they have a different opinion fall into the same category. People that like and share pictures on Facebook that say like and share this to receive $1,000, or don't scroll without typing amen, or some kind of similar bullcrap, or on Instagram, double tap the picture to see what happens next. People are freaking stupid. People who just eat up whatever they are told without questioning it, or who just totally lack any critical thinking skills. These people also tend to be the people who can't shift their opinion once it's made. Hate that too. Don't get it, never will, unless they can provide a compelling and well-constructed argument to the contrary.